What is up, you guys? KS here. Thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate it. So, guys, first video for Patreon. First of many, for sure. So, a little bit of housekeeping right off the bat. Number one, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for becoming Patreons. I can't express how much that means to me and how much it blows me away that you would be willing to spend some of your hard-earned money to help support the channel. It's mind-boggling to me. So I truly appreciate that, and I want to make it worth your while. First, we'll be doing exclusive videos. I've already told you guys we're going to be doing that. So here's number one right now. But some different things that I'm thinking of, like behind the scenes, up at the review table upstairs, and how all that happens, that whole process, and then also exclusive videos that you guys request. If there's something you guys want to see, like the P320X Compact, there's some things that you really want to dial in on and talk about, we will absolutely do things like that. And they will not go onto YouTube. They will be your videos. So sky's the limit there. You guys are the board of directors for this channel, not only on Patreon, but definitely for YouTube as well. So I want to hear your input on all of that stuff, and I'll make everything work as best I can. But I wanted to give you guys some updates as well on where some of the videos are going and what's coming up, and some thoughts, and get your suggestions too, especially on if I could only have ones and that sort of thing. And so right off the bat, Xstar was nice enough to send along the EP9. I think that's what it is, EP9. I just picked it up yesterday, so I've not really done any of the research on this yet. The only thing I did was take it apart and put a little bit of oil on the bolt, and that's it. Super easy to take apart, by the way. I was pretty impressed with that. But they were nice enough to send it along, and it was at the suggestion of Honest Outlaw. I got to say, Honest Outlaw is one of the nicest guys I've ever met. He is so much fun to get to know, and he'll be on our Wednesday night chats more often. You guys have requested that many times, so excited to have him there more. But that was really cool. It was a great hookup, and I'm very appreciative of that. So I'm excited to work with it. I did put some sights on top. Didn't come with them. These actually came from a tack pack, so I wanted to make use of that. But I'm excited to put some rounds through it. But the question becomes, and if I could only have one between that and something else. We do have some other options here, one of which is the CZ Scorpion Micro. It's still here right now. This will not be a collection gun. It'll go eventually, but it has been a lot of fun, and that might be an interesting comparison with the Xstar. Another one would be, of course, the MPX. Man, I'll tell you, I love this thing. This is a fantastic gun. I like it a lot. It's pretty expensive. The magazines are expensive. It's heavy and it's a pain to clean, but I really like it quite a bit. So if you wanted to see a significant price range difference, and if I could only have one, we could do that. But speaking of price, something that might be a little bit more in the ballpark would be the Palmetto State Armory AR9. Love this thing. I run it with the can a lot, and it takes a lot of abuse, and it just keeps on going. No last round hold open, which I think the Xstar actually does. So that's pretty interesting. But both of them take Glock mags and that sort of thing, and a little bit more budget minded. So that might be an option. So I want to know your thoughts on that. Be sure to holler and let me know what you guys want to see. But some other updates. So the last two guns that were acquired prior to the demonetization, had I known, I might have done things a little bit differently, but this is where we are now. One of them is the X5. I think you guys have already seen this on a live chat, if you guys tune into those. And I did have the opportunity to put a couple of rounds through this yesterday, Friday, had the day off, and had some problems with it. Don't tell the SIG guys, but I did. I had some problems. Most significantly, I had a lot of stovepipes. I think I know what the problem is. I'll get to it in a second, but a lot of stovepipes. That was very disappointing. But then also, and the magazine that's in here, this is a 21 round magazine. This is not what comes with it. It's actually 3 17 round magazines, flat base plates. I like the look of them out of the gun. I don't like the look of them in the gun. I think this is a much better look with the extended magazine. But yeah, so the stovepipes and no last round hold open on this magazine. The other ones worked fine. It comes with 2 recoil springs. It's a different recoil spring and guide rod system than the standard X5. And so the lighter spring is now in this. That's why this thing, this thing is so easy to rack. I'm going to go back and I'm going to try it. I run 115 grain PMC as range ammo pretty much exclusively, just because it's inexpensive. I can get it by the case without breaking the bank or anything like that. And so I prefer guns to be able to run with that. I could have done 147 grain or something, and this probably would have worked better yesterday. but I wanted to run with the ammo that I prefer. So I'll definitely include that in my story in the actual video there, but I wanted to give you guys an idea of where I am with that. And then the other one that was required prior to the thing is the 365 XL. And I'll tell you what, in handling this, and I've not shot it yet, it feels tremendous in the hand. I absolutely love it. I mean, this thing kind of blows me away a little bit. It's reminiscent of maybe the 43X, which I'm really coming to like more and more, and spending less time with the Shield, believe it or not. We'll do a story on that at a later time. But one thing that I noticed with this is the fitment on this is incredibly tight. And at first, I had a really difficult time racking the slide. Now, I've got a bad wrist, and so that actually is sort of a thing for me a little bit, but most guns I can get through without too much of an issue. This thing was a bit of a chore. Now it's loosened up a little bit, which is good, but as you guys know, when you test your trigger and you keep that trigger down, pull the slide back so you can test your reset, that's when man, I'll tell you what, this thing, even still, you have to work through it a little bit. So again, it's loosening up. I'll be interested to see how it performs at the range. I try and do 250, 300 rounds when I can for testing as a first impression. You guys always see first impressions with me. I know some people do like 1,000 rounds like Honest Outlaw does. I really can't do that. And also my wrist can't handle that very much anymore. But some people are saying this gets really hot. So I'll be curious to know about that as well. If that is a thing. So then we'll compare it, of course, with the 365 and see how all of that stuff goes. But if there are nuances about this or the X5 or whatever that you guys want to see that are much more detailed, just again, holler down below. But some other things that I'm working on, one of which you guys know, the revolver is the 986, right? Pretty sure. And I'm excited to work with this, although I will tell you I'm not a wheel gun guy. And even, handling this and dry firing it a little bit, it's got an incredible trigger, by the way. That single action is crazy, but I'm still not a wheel gun guy. It's a very nice gun, but it's not necessarily inspiring and certainly not collection worthy to me. It's just not. So more on that at a later time. We've got the Langdon Tactical Beretta 92. The Centurion by Wilson Combat just dropped today. It's Saturday morning right now. So I want to try and do an if I could only have one with that. I've got a buddy that's got an M9A3 that he's willing to loan me. He's actually loaned several guns to the channel over the years. And it'd be fun to do maybe a three-way comparison if I can. I've never done that before, so it'd be interesting, and I want to try and keep it relatively short, hopefully under 20 minutes. That's kind of my max for videos these days. And then Dan Wesson, the Guardian here, I have the Vigil CCO. That one's just going to go. It doesn't make sense to have two of almost the same thing. They are very similar in a lot of ways. There are some differences, but not really that many, not enough to make different videos, and it will help to get the CCO out the door, help keep the channel going. So it just makes sense to do that. The Guardian I've wanted forever. I mean, this was the one that I really had my eyes on, and this one was just harder to get. So that's kind of where we are with things. But again, a lot of behind the scenes for you guys, giveaways. I don't think I've mentioned it yet, but I've got a Faxon 16-inch barrel, brand new in the case. It was one that was donated for another giveaway for the channel, and the person never claimed it. And anything that's donated to the channel for giveaways, I never touch. Those don't become mine. They stay for giveaways. And the plan was to do another YouTube one at some point, but you know what? This is for you. So we'll do a giveaway next month for that, and I'm working with some other manufacturers to come up with some cool things like Apex and maybe Core Belt and that sort of thing. So I want to try and give back and do giveaways for you guys as much as I possibly can, and hopefully as things grow we'll be able to do that more often. So it's worth your while to be here. So anyways, that's kind of where we are with things. Again, any suggestions you guys have on things that you want to see, I'll make it happen, and we'll put that stuff together. So once again, guys, thank you so much for being a part of this. It blows my mind. It's so humbling. I don't even know where to start. But we'll have fun with this, and we'll make this a fun, unique experience for sure. So you guys, thank you very much. Different intro and different outro for this because we're close friends. So it's not quite as formal, a little bit more informal. We're down in the dungeon right now because it's cooler down here. So anyways, you guys, thank you again. Appreciate it, and I will talk to you guys very soon.